Hello students, Standard 10, Subject English, Chapter 2.5, Let's March, Module 2. Students, in the last module we saw how Sri Kailash Satyarthi has been tirelessly working for children's rights and how passionate he is about breaking the shackles of forced child labor when he was delivering his speech in honor of the Nobel Peace Prize conferred on him. Let us now read about some other strong points mentioned by him in his speech. I refuse to accept that the world is so poor when just 1 week of global military expenditure can bring all the children to classroom. I refuse to accept that all the laws and constitutions, police and judges are unable to protect our children. I refuse to accept that the shackles of slavery can ever be stronger than the quest for freedom. Shackles of slavery are the chains that bind the children into slavery. Is that ever so stronger than the quest for freedom, the search for freedom? I refuse to accept here. My only aim in life is that every child is free to be a child, free to grow and develop, free to eat, sleep and see daylight, free to laugh and cry, free to play and learn, free to go to school, and above all, free to dream. I have the privilege of working with many courageous people who have the same aim. We have never given up against any threat or attack, and we never will. We have made progress in the last couple of decades. We have reduced the number of out-of-school children by half. Out-of-school children means children those who have dropped out of school midway. We have reduced the number of child laborers by a third. We have reduced child mortality and malnutrition, and we have prevented millions of child deaths. But let us make no mistake, great challenges still remain. Friends, the biggest challenge or the biggest crisis knocking on the doors of humankind is fear and intolerance. We have utterly failed our children in imparting an education that gives the meaning and objective of life, an education that gives a sense of global citizenship among the youth. I'm afraid that the day is not very far away when the cumulative result is the a total result, a sum total of everything of this failure will culminate in an unprecedented violence, and that will be suicidal for humankind. Let me explain this part to you, children. Sri Kailash Satyarthi comments that the cost of educating all the children is not greater than the amount the nations of the world spend every week on their military. This leaves us with a thought. Is education less important than war? He is not ready to accept that all the laws and constitutions, police and judges are unable to protect our children from forced labor. He is not ready to accept that the binding chains of slavery can ever be stronger than the quest or search for freedom. He then goes on to enlist the basic right of every child and every childhood. He says, in spite of all the progress that we have made in reducing the number of child labor globally, there still remains a bigger challenge. And what's that? That is of fear and intolerance. He fears that if proper care and good education are not provided to children, the result will be disastrous, as children may resort to violence. This may prove to be self-destructive or suicidal to humankind, as children trained in violence will grow up to be tomorrow's citizens. Rights, security, hope can only be restored through education. Restored is to bring it back to its original form. Young people like Malala, I've started calling her my daughter Malala, not just Malala. So my daughter Malala and other daughters including Kainat, in fact two Kainats, and Shazia, and the daughters from Africa and from all over the world, they are rising up and choosing peace over violence, tolerance over extremism, and courage over fear. The solutions are emerging, but these solutions cannot be found in the deliberations in conferences alone and cannot be found in prescriptions from a distance. The solutions are emerging means this, we are trying to find out and come up with new solutions, but it cannot alone be found by deliberations. Deliberations is having a debate or having a talk in the conference room and cannot be found in prescriptions. Prescriptions are recommendations given by someone in authority. They lie in small groups and local organizations and individuals who are confronting with the problem every day. The solution lies with the people who belong to that locality where child labor or where children are not do not have access to education. They are the ones who have the first hand information and who are confronting is able to take a problem head on, able to tackle a problem. Even if they remain unacknowledged, unrecognized, and unknown to the world, the solution are with them. Unrecognized, unacknowledged means even if no one praises them for their work that they do, or even if their name is not, they are not recognized, they are unknown, no one knows them, they are strangers to the outside world, yet they are the ones who are the real heroes. We can do it. You may ask that, what can one person do? I would recall a story of my childhood. A heavy fire had broken out in the forest. All the animals were running away, including the lion, the king of the forest. Suddenly, then he saw a tiny bird rushing towards the fire. He asked the bird, "What are you doing?" To the lion's surprise, the bird replied, "I am going to extinguish the fire." The lion laughed and said, "How can you do it, keeping just one drop of water in your beak?" The bird was adamant, and she said, "I am doing my bit." 18 years ago, millions of individuals marched across the globe and demanded a new international law for the abolition of worst form of child labor. And it has happened. We did it. Millions of individuals did it. Let me explain this part. Satyarthi stresses on the fact that education alone will help the deprived children to stand on their own feet and earn a decent living. He is happy to see young people choosing peace over violence, tolerance over extremism, and courage over fear. He makes a special mention of Malala Yousafzai, who was a co-recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. Malala had invited three champions of girls' rights and two of her classmates from Pakistan, Shazia Ramzan and Kainat Riaz, and Kainat Sumro, who were on the bus with her when she was shot in the head by the Taliban in 2012. He says that the solution to this global crisis lies in the individuals and local organizations who confront the problem every day on a daily basis. They truly are the unsung heroes who get no recognition or credit for their work. He narrates the story of a lion and a bird, emphasizing the fact that we must try to do whatever we can to improve matters without thinking that our efforts are insignificant. Because, as they say, every little drop counts. Friends, we live in an age of rapid globalization. We are connected through high-speed internet. We exchange our goods and services in one single global market. Thousands of flights every day connect us from one corner to another corner of the globe. But there is one serious disconnect, and there is a lack of compassion. Compassion means to have concern, to show concern towards others, towards the people who are suffering. Let us inculcate and transform these individuals' compassion into a global compassion. Let us globalize compassion. Inculcate means develop something, develop a good value. Mahatma Gandhi said, if we are to teach real peace in this world, we shall have to begin with the children. I humbly add, let us unite the world through the compassion for our children. I ask, whose children are they who stitch footballs, yet never played with one? Whose children are they who harvest cocoa, yet have never tasted chocolate? Whose children are they who are dying of Ebola? Whose children are they who are kidnapped and held hostage? They are all our children. I remember an 8-year-old girl we rescued from intergenerational forced labor from stone quarries. Intergenerational is involving many generations for the same work, and it is a sort of bonded labor, forced labor. And a stone quarry is a place where it's a deep pit from which stones and other materials are extracted. Her angry question still shakes me. I beg your pardon? When she was sitting in my car right after her rescue, she asked me, why did you not come earlier? Her angry question still shakes me and has the power to shake the whole world. Her question is for all of us. What are we doing? What are we waiting for? How many girls will we allow to go without rescue? Children are questioning our inaction and watching our actions. We need collective actions with a sense of urgency. Every single minute matters. Every single child matters. Every single childhood matters. Therefore, I challenge the passivity and pessimism surrounding our children. Passivity means lack of action, and pessimism means negativity without helping or supporting someone. I challenge this culture of silence and this culture of passivity, this culture of neutrality. Sri Satyarthi says that though we live in a world of rapid globalization where things move at high speed, yet the one thing that we as humans are missing is compassion. There is an unfortunate culture of passivity, pessimism, silence, and neutrality when it comes to the helpless children. Neither governments nor individuals seem to care enough. We prefer to ignore the stark reality. If a child is brought up on love and peace, he will learn to spread love and peace in the world. He appeals to the people of the world to unite through the compassion for our children. We need collective actions with a sense of urgency because now is the right time. Because a stitch in time saves nine. Students, that's all for today. In the next module, we shall read what are his visions for a better world for our children. Refer to the Word document for your classwork. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy.